You've seen it in every app: a loading spinner, a progress bar, a countdown, maybe even a slick circular tracker. But in SwiftUI, building all these, it's not just one line of code. There's logic, timers, state, and a bit of design thinking. In this video, we're going to break it all down step by step. We'll start with the basics, how ProgressView works, and go all the way to building a fully custom circular progress view that you can style however you want. Each part builds on the last. We'll explain what's happening, why it matters, and how to make it your own. By the end, you won't just know how to use SwiftUI's progress views, you'll know how to design them, control them, and build your own from scratch. Let's start simple. Before we show anything on screen, we need a few things in place. We create a date range, a progress value, and a timer. You might be wondering, why do we need this? Well, here's the deal. Date range gives us a 10-second time window. We'll use this later when we build a countdown-based progress bar. Progress is what will animate from 0 to 1. Most progress views need this to show actual progress. And timer? That's what makes everything move. Every 0.05 seconds, it will tick and push progress a little bit forward. All right, now that we've got our setup, let's drop in our first progress view. That's it. Nothing fancy here. This is what we call an indeterminate progress view. You might be thinking, what does indeterminate even mean? It means we don't know how long the task will take. So instead of showing progress, we just show a spinner, like when you're waiting for a file to load or a network request to finish, but you don't know how big it is. This version doesn't use progress or timer. It just shows the user, hey, something's happening. And sometimes that's all you need. Next up, we'll style it a bit. Here's what each line does. Control size off type large makes the spinner and label bigger. Foreground style color primary uses the primary color of the environment for the text. In dark mode will be white, and the light mode will be black. Tint. Purple changes the spinner's color to purple. This version is still not tied to progress. It just looks better, and in real apps, that little polish makes a difference. Now we're showing real progress. This is where progress starts doing its job. The progress is a number from 0.0 to 1.0. It tells us how far along we are. Why multiply by 100? Because we want to show progress from 0 to 100%. So we scale progress to match that. We could have kept both value and total between 0 and 1, but 0 to 100 looks better and feels more familiar to users. Now we've got a progress bar on screen, but how is it actually moving? The answer is on receive. Every 0.05 seconds, the timer we set up sends out a signal. On receive listens to that signal. Each time it hears it, it adds a small amount to the progress value, just 1% at a time. That's what keeps the bar filling up. Without on receive, nothing would happen. The bar would just stay stuck at 0. This is what makes the whole thing tick. This is the same as before, but now we add current value label. That's what shows the live percentage, like 42%. Everything else stays the same. Now we're using the date range. This progress view tracks time. It fills up based on how much time has passed between a start and end date. The new part here is timer interval, which connects the time range to the view. And counts down, true makes the bar shrink, showing how much time is left. You can use this, for example, when a user sends an email and you want to give them 10 seconds to undo the action if they change their mind. It's clean, automatic, and user-friendly. Same progress, just a different look. We're using a gauge with accessory circular capacity, and that gives us a built-in circular style. But this isn't fully custom. We can't change much, just the color and the label. Next, we'll upgrade to a fully custom version where we can control everything: size, stroke, colors, and style. We start with a Z-stack inside a fixed size frame. This gives us a layered layout where we can draw multiple circles on top of each other: the track, the progress, and the label. We also define 5 inputs. Size, how big the circle should be. Progress goes from 0.0 to 1.0. Line width, thickness of the stroke. Progress color, color for the filled part. Track color, background ring. This setup gives us full flexibility to control how the view looks from the outside. This is the static circle behind the progress. It gives us a faint ring that shows the full size of the progress circle. We lower the opacity so the progress color stands out clearly on top. This is the animated part that shows real progress. Trim from 0. To progress value cuts the circle based on how far we've come. Stroke. draws it with a rounded line. This gives that nice radial fill effect. By default, the circle starts on the right side. We rotate it so progress begins at the top. Now it feels like a clock, from 12 o'clock downward. In the center, we show the current progress as a number. Simple and clear, user always knows exactly how far it's gone,